I've been playing Rust for a while now, and at this point I feel like I understand the game pretty well. Nonetheless, there's still times when I see another player do something or build something that changes the way I want to play drastically. Some of these tips might seem pretty obvious to the more experienced players out there, but I remember these being really useful when I was just starting out. Here's a few building tips that I wish I knew when I first started to play Rust. Number 1. You can hide things inside rocks. A lot of the rocks around the map are unbreakable, and you can hide things inside the smaller ones. This can protect them both from weapons and from being seen. You can still pretty easily get into them, but generally can't tell something's amiss from a distance. If you find a rock large enough to hide a small box in, you can put a lock on the thing and you'd basically have an indestructible secure container. You can also hide things inside nodes, but you can't interact with them until you smash the node, so I'm not sure why you'd want to. Number 2. You can see through wood floors. If your settings are high enough, you can see through the little slits in wood floors. This is one of the reasons I try to upgrade my foundations to stone right away. Thankfully, you can't fit under most foundations, but if you're still using wood foundations and they're built high enough, there's enough room for a person to hide under. This actually opens some interesting opportunities for building techniques though. Number 3. Walls have soft sides, but doors don't. Walls, floors, stairs, etc. all have a strong and weak side to them. Generally, it's pretty easy to tell when you place one the wrong way, and if you catch it fast enough, you can flip it with your hammer. Just make sure not to leave the wall alone for too long, otherwise it'll get frozen in place and you'll have to break it manually. Doors used to have soft sides, but this was removed in an update, and now they're equally useful regardless of which way they face. That leads me to number 4. Open doors can still block players. If your airlocks are made using triangle foundations, then your door placement really matters. To make this trick as effective as possible, ensure that both doors push into the airlock itself. When your doors are open, there won't actually be enough space for a person to fit through. Be aware of the enemy's sightline though, they can still shoot at you from outside, but now you can shoot back. Number 5. You can hide your basement with a rug. If you have a floor hatch leading to your basement, then I've got good news for you. You can completely hide that hatch with just a few rugs. Just make sure your floor frame isn't made of stone, the rocks will poke out a little bit and it becomes really obvious what you're doing. You can easily use your hammer to pull the rug off and then place it back down when you're done. This might give you a little bit more peace of mind when logging off for the night, especially since players can't go through the rugs, and unless they take over your cabinet they won't be able to remove them. And lastly, number 6. You can build on large rocks. Is there a large boulder preventing you from building the watchtower of your dreams? Well, fret not. It can take a bit of fiddling, but you can actually build on top of the giant rocks around you. Thanks to the latest building update, it's easier than ever to make multi-leveled structures pretty much anywhere. Alright, well, that's all I've got for you guys today. Hopefully you learned something, and if not, thanks for sticking around anyway. I'm glad to have you. I'll be doing at least a couple more videos on Rust in the near future, so if you're into that sort of thing, stick around for a while, and if you have any ideas for the sort of stuff you'd like to see in a video, let me know in the comments. Doesn't even have to be related to Rust. Anyway, until next time, have a good one.